Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us for our weekend weather update. The first weekend of July, and we've got very settled weather going on in New Zealand. For those who own barometers, we've had quite a few people sending us their readings. Very high air pressure. For some, it's even record high pressure that they've recorded. It's the central air pressure with this system getting up to about 1041 hectopascals at the very centre. So that's very high pressure. It's also kind of normal at this time of the year that we start to get these big, strong highs. The difference between now and summer, though, is that there's a lot of low pressure in between the highs, at least usually anyway. So high pressure is dominating at the moment in the New Zealand area. There's another big southerly pushing into Adelaide, and that system is on its way towards New Zealand. Not quite as straightforward as that though. So here we are for Saturday. We've still got this cold airflow coming in north of New Zealand. It's just clipping East Cape and it's just clipping the eastern side of Northland. With that colder airflow around and this big solid high over the top of it, that's why we're getting colder temperatures at night, and this weekend will be no different. You'll be waking up to some pretty cold mornings with frosty weather across both islands. As we get into Sunday, again, no real change. The low out here around Australia gets a little bit more intense, but the high over New Zealand is still pretty strong, and the weather is mostly settled right across the whole country. Right, temperatures, as I say, they're going to be down a bit. So Sunday morning, look at this. The areas that are shaded in pink, keys on the wrong side, but those are more than 8 degrees below where they should be at this time of the year. So that gives you an indication as to how much cooler it is, and that goes right down into the top of the South Island. But look what happens to the west coast. The red line, that's the opposite. Several degrees above average. That's because we've got cloud cover rolling on in. So as we go through the weekend and we get into Monday, you start to notice this northerly wind coming down. It'll get windier through the southern Alps. The wind flow will change direction, but it's generally coming out of the north. So that means it's warm. Cold morning in the North Island though, with the high still in charge and the light winds, but much warmer in the South Island. And we've got a fair bit of rain coming in, kicking off from Monday and then going through till Wednesday. So this is the 48-hour map starting from Monday, 6 o'clock to Wednesday. So Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning. This is a fair bit of rain coming through. There's maybe 150 to 175 millimetres coming for the mountaintops. And you'll see why. Here is Tuesday's setup. The windy northerlies right across the country, so Tuesday's a warm day around New Zealand. You've got heavy falls on the west coast, as we just talked about. That accumulation starts on Monday, but you really notice it on Tuesday. Dry though, or mostly dry, for those eastern areas. Once we get to Wednesday, that cold change moves right up and across the top of the country, and here comes that blue line again, indicating colder air down in the Southern Ocean, now coming up across us. So it's a fairly typical cold front, if you ask me, coming through on Wednesday. And by Thursday, that cold air goes all the way up to the top of the country, but it's fairly standard. You know, there's nothing too dramatic in it. When you track the origins of that airflow, it's actually coming out of Australia. So it's not going to be super chilled, but that blue line does indicate we've got a temperature drop and high pressure is trying to build again as we go into next weekend. And that is all from me. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.